Welcome to another Tips and Tricks with Rock Bottom Imaging. Today we're going to dive into Adobe Lightroom and I'm going to show you a very useful tool for the underwater photographer, the spot removal tool. From time to time, if you're shooting photos underwater and you're using strobes especially, you're going to get some backscatter. This is very distracting in your image, so I'm going to show you how to correct that in post-processing. Now, while diving, two great tips that should reduce the amount of backscatter in your photos are the following. Number one, get close to your subject. The distance between you and your camera and your subject, if you get closer, well, there's going to be less backscatter in that photograph. Now, a really useful tool is using a external strobe. That should reduce your backscatter dramatically by hitting the particles at an angle instead of head-on like a lot of front-facing strobes would do. So anyway, we're going to go right into the Develop module, and I'm going to show you this tool. It's located right here on the panel, and let's go ahead and click that. Now, when I am spot cleaning photographs, I will go over here to the Navigator section, click on the upper left-hand corner of the image, and then that brings me into a one-to-one magnification. I can really see those spots up and close and get rid of them all fairly easily. Now, with this spot removal tool, there's a few options here for you. You can adjust the size by easily moving the slider bar. I do a quick shortcut on my Mac with just two-finger sliding up and two-finger sliding down. That will also decrease the size of my cursor. The feathering option, what that does, it will increase or decrease the internal circle and allow that blending effect to be either greater or reduce it. So if I come in here, you can see my inner circle is increased in size, reducing the blending amount that would occur when you're spot correcting. Well, I like to hide a lot of those spots when they do show up, so I increase that feathering option just so it will blend the surrounding pixels and make that spot disappear. The opacity, what that is simply the strength at which your spot is healed or cloned. So if you click on that and you move the slider bar left, you can see the spot comes back. So we want to get rid of the spot, so I leave my opacity nice and high. Now, what the spot tool removal does is it simply grabs pixels from elsewhere in the screen. You can manually move this cursor to find pixels that better fit your replacement and hit enter, and boom, you fix that one spot. Now, what the clone feature is, so if I zoom out here and maybe I want to get kind of creative, or maybe there's a spot in which I need to replace identical pixels, well, I'll show you exactly what the clone feature does. So let's say I want to do a goofy picture, I want to put a third eye on my fish. You can see this second cursor is going to grab the exact pixels from the second circle. So this could be useful if you're doing a goofy edit, or if you want to do something maybe like this circle here, and it's very difficult to possibly find corresponding pixels. You may use the clone feature to kind of grab scales that kind of match the image. So you can see right there, that kind of replaced these exact scales with this image, and maybe it made for a better correction than if I were to just use the heal function. Now, when you're spot cleaning photos, you want to get all these spots. There is a nice little attribute that Adobe Lightroom does have. Right down here in the lower portion of the screen, it will visualize the spots. Turns your screen into kind of a Terminator look, really zero in on all these little spots and specks in your image, and allows you to really zap and heal it. Now, an image that has this much backscatter, a lot of photographers may just go ahead and scrap it. Some of us beginner photographers have a hard time really getting rid of some of our favorite shots, especially if you're just starting out shooting. So you may want to try to fix the photo the best you can. So you go in here and zap it. You can see this auto grab that spot. I don't want that, so I'm going to move the cursor manually. So you just go through the photo spot by spot, maybe crack your favorite beverage, and enjoy an evening of spot correction. Now, if I want to clean the entire photo, I'm going to make sure I hit all the aspects of this photo, and instead of moving the image, I'm going to do a shortcut on the Mac and just hit Function, hold it down, and hit the down arrow. You can see it slides down exactly the next panel down to make sure I don't miss any pixels. So I can continue to do that throughout my photograph and just make sure I grab all those images and all those spots out of my photo. So eventually, after a few other corrections, you clean all the spots up, you can turn your photo from something that has tons of backscatter and clean it up into a nicer image. Now, obviously, this one, you can see all the spot corrections I've did, and I also did some different exposure adjustments with the shadows, etc. But I'm going to save that for another tutorial for next week. Anyway, if you enjoyed what you learned today, make sure you share this video with your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube page here so you can stay up to date with the latest videos. And then follow me on my social media pages. I have Rock Bottom Imaging on Facebook. We also have it on Instagram. And yeah, really some great content in there for you to enjoy. And definitely, if you don't have Adobe Lightroom, click the link down below. Get it. I think you can even try it out. They do a really nice program. So make sure you click the link down below and get yourself signed up for Adobe Lightroom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.